Majority Black precincts in Mississippi ran out of ballots. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves was reelected on Tuesday, a Republican win that comes out a close race and reports of ballot running out at least in 9 precincts that were in majority Black counties. Go figure. Newsweek reported widespread accounts of polling stations running out of ballots in Hinds County, Mississippi, most populous county. Say that again. Hinds County is not only Mississippi's most populous county, it is also a Black county, heavily Black, resulting in some residents waiting several hours to cast their ballots. The lack of ballots prompted Hinds County Chancery Judge Dewayne to order polls to remain open for an extra hour after the state Democratic Party filed a lawsuit. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau showed that Hinds County is 73.5% Black and traditionally vote Democratic. You think it's a by happenstance that they ran out of ballots? I promise you it ain't. A number of the precincts in Hyde County ran out of ballots during Election Day and are continuing to run out of ballots, and other may run out going forward. This is what Thomas wrote. It takes time to deliver more ballots to the precincts because of the disruption this has caused. The court granted the motion of the plaintiff to extend the closing hours in Hinds County from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is what Ross Adams said. Who works for the local network at WAPT News recorded ballots running out at 5 locations in Clinton and 1 in the neighboring city of Bolton, according to Newsweek. Brendan Hall from WLBT News had footage of a massive line of voters queuing in the dark outside Wildwood Baptist Church, one of the locations Adam visited. Let me say something. If people had to stay in line additional hours, the polls should have stayed open until those people voted. This idea that they stayed open 1 hour is not enough. This only happens by preparation. This is not an accident. This is not an accident. Hear what they said. The governor was reelected in a narrow victory in Mississippi when people were trying to participate in this election. Ran out of ballots. How do you run out of ballots? You should have enough ballots in your precinct for everybody there. Everybody registered to vote in that precinct. You should have a ballot for them, regardless if turnout is never 100%. You should be prepared for that. This is absolutely rookie and also straight up racism. And people say, how you know it's racist? It's 73.5%. It didn't run out in one of the white counties. It didn't run out in Notcheby. It didn't run out where white people live in Mississippi. We cannot pretend that this isn't voter suppression at its best. We cannot pretend that the Republicans didn't understand how important this governor's race was and also how close it was going to be, because people in Mississippi were fired up about some of the craziness that's been going on under this governor's administration. The situation with him and football NFL legend Brett Favre stealing $7 million to build from the welfare program to build a soccer or a volleyball court for his daughter at Mississippi State. All of that was on the ballot, and they made sure that they weren't going to lose. And the way they did that was by not sending enough ballots. Nina.
Yeah, Mayor. Well, you hit the nail on the head. Should have enough ballots for every registered voter in the state, whether they show up or not. Should have a contingency plan. For the folks who always want to talk about this almost non-existent voter fraud and how it is against the law. And yes, voter fraud is against the law, but so is voter suppression. But we don't hear the same type of energy around protecting people from voter suppression than we hear for this almost non-existent voter fraud. I think Brennan Institute, they did a poll, a survey many years ago now, but it basically revealed that you got a greater chance of being struck by lightning than you do for people to be engaged in voter fraud. Where is the energy behind the voter suppression? And Mayor, you're right. It's not by accident. I know people, why you guys always jump into this race? Because this is pure and adulterate racism, targeting Black precincts, Black districts, trying to get people so discouraged that they get out of line. We know what's happening here. This is the same state where the water situation in Jackson, Mississippi, where it's overwhelmingly Black, where the Black mayor has to fight back and forth with these folks about clean water. This is that same state. The same state. They want to carve out special districts and put the state in control and take away local. The same state where they absolutely want to have 100% control of Black people. So if you can't beat them straight up, you cheat them straight up. And that is what has happened in this case. I hope there's a federal investigation into why this happened and how it can be prevented from happening again.
I can tell you one way it can be prevented. According to Brandon Hall on Twitter, he said the line at Wildwood Baptist Church in Clinton currently, he shows a picture of it, says some voters who had just cast their ballot had waited for 2.5 hours. I'm told this polling location has run out of ballots at least 5 times and have been restocked with less than 100 ballots every couple hours. That is intentional. That is intentional. 5 times you ran out of ballots and you only brought 100 or less. This is ridiculous. And everybody, I don't know why the federal government is not involved. Mississippi is one of those states that would have triggered if they wouldn't have took the teeth out of the Voting Rights Act. But we know and we see right now what the playbook is going to be in 2024 and going forward, and how we can't just beat you by showing up in more numbers. They've already said that ain't enough. We can't beat you even though you draw these crazy gerrymandered districts. We can't defeat your candidates that manner. No, you're just going to prevent us by not bringing ballots to the poll. So we're not even talking about bringing souls to the poll at this point. We don't have a ballot to write the souls' names on. This is absolutely ridiculous. Someone said in the Griot, this is according to the Griot, I believe that the Secretary of State's office and county elections office were simply not prepared for the overwhelming, amazing turnout we are seeing in Hinds County. Being not prepared is one thing, right, Nina? Being not prepared is one thing. But 5 times you got to refill it and you only bring less than 100 ballots? This ain't got nothing to do with preparation. They were prepared to make sure it was going to be hard for people to vote, and they succeeded at that.
That is it. They have one job. The Secretary of State's office and every other election official, they have one job on election day, and that is to ensure a smooth voting process and that people who come to vote can vote. One job. So these excuses about being unprepared, the dog, as they say in the South, this dog don't hunt, Mayor. Totally unacceptable. One job, and they failed at that one job. Feds, you need to get on in there.
Absolutely. You're right. That dog don't hunt.